this is Dragon Videos. I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel, and this time I'm going to go over the Gaslight District, or more specifically, the characters. Each of them are unique and quirky in terms of personality and the hype that it brings around with them. So for this video, I'm going to discuss my each individual thoughts of each of these characters and what future might hold for them all. Without further ado, let's begin. Might as well start off with the main character, Mel. With Mel, she definitely is a bit on the crazy side, filled with energy, but she kind of gives off a little bit of a Harley Quinn vibe. However, she does have that capability of pulling back her craziness where she could think of a logical plan. She's still reckless at times, but to her credit, at least she gathers her information before going into a full-blown plan and actually organizes it very well before she even talked about it with Ken in the long run of things. She knows of how to come up with strategies, which I think is probably one of the reasons why Mud, who I will talk about later, has a certain degree of respect for her, which I can definitely find understandable. And she also has this other side to her that we don't see until towards the end of the episode and when the mission is halfway through. She has a vulnerable side. She wants to be approved by her fellow gang members. She just wants to belong in the world of the undead, even though she's secretly a human wearing a zombie disguise as far as we know. She's supposed to be the black-blooded human that's supposed to bring about the end of the world. However, I will discuss that later in a future video. And this terms here, I feel like with Mel, her vulnerability will be one of the best qualities in this show, because I like to see her scared. I like to see her just trying to adjust to the reality of her identity. The identity that she's forced upon herself because of the Gaslight District, and the identity that she has in general, that she knows who she is. It's just she's hiding it from everyone else because she felt like she would never be accepted because of that alone. Let's just see of how everyone reacts towards the tail end of season 1. Ken the Butcher. Yeah, definitely gives off a little creepy vibes, but despite his intimidating, hulking nature and his split personality, he does have a soft side for his team. Mostly for Mel, he gets so protective of her, which it can be understandable why, considering the kind of world that she's trapped in. And he definitely has a lot of secrets, especially with his encounter with Temperance.
Butcher! How did you find me?
Yeah, that was something. Anyway, there definitely is a lot of promise with Ken's character, and I do feel like he also cares about everyone else on the team too, including Mud, though I'm pretty sure he never admitted to anyone, not even Mel. He wants nothing more than to make sure that the plan works without a hitch and that no one is going to be compromised. I mean, true, they are all undead the majority of the time, but they're in a situations where there could be some things worse than death, and nobody knows it better than he does. So yeah, I think if you're ever trapped in that world, he's probably the closest thing you got in order to survive. With Mud's character, I feel like goes 50-50. On the one hand, he looks like the kind of guy who will stab you in the back if given the chance to do so. He even tried to convince Mel to join his team with some sort of unfounded mutiny that may come later on. However, on the other hand, he does seem to have some level of loyalty to the gang. I mean, after all, if he doesn't like money so much, well, in terms of how Ken handles the money, he would have left probably a long time ago. But he sticks around for some reason. And of course, I do admire the fact of how much of a sniper he is, but yet he remains focused at the tasks at hand when it comes to the mission. Even if it costs some of his life and almost his entire head. In terms of whether or not how he's going to respond to Mel being a human, I feel like this is going to go where he'll be shocked at first and a little scared, but knowing his time with Mel, he'll probably just be more conflicted and angry with Ken and probably find another reason why he should boot him if possible. Breadhead has got to be the most chill guy out of a group, despite of how much he's the second muscle of the group, Ken the Butcher being first. Breadhead definitely comes across as somebody who could care less of what's going on with the job or if there's anything super serious going on except for the black-blooded human. He wants nothing more than to enjoy life possible and what's given to him. I even still find it pretty weird that despite his situation with the angels, he didn't get torn up and that they actually put him back on his body, which I don't know if they actually see some of the good in him or if this was just sheer luck alone, but whatever the case may be, Breadhead must be one incredibly lucky guy to actually survive that sort of stuff. And he'll do everything in his power to protect Mel. I'm pretty sure that if he actually learned that she was human, he'll probably be a little conflicted at first, but eventually will come to understand why her identity had to be kept a secret all this time. No joke, this guy actually lives up to his name. If you distract him or pull him away from what he's doing, he will terminate you 6 ways to Sunday. And I swear that the glitch production must be secretly shipping him with Mud. I mean, just look at the way he's just staring at Mud. Tell me that doesn't feel like an eyes up buddy moment. Putting that aside, he definitely shows he's going to be a solid antagonist throughout the series whenever possible. I mean, he definitely has the determination, the aura, and of course, he would be interesting to learn through in regards to what the virtues really are and who's head honcho. Just more about how the mechanics of these virtues work in the first place. So these are my thoughts, and I'd like to hear yours. What do you think is going to happen in the future season so far? Do a like and subscribe. This is Dragon Veo signing off.